Hello and welcome to this video where we are going to go over the essay structure. I'm going to show you how you should structure your essay in the exam, and I'm also going to demonstrate that with the help of an example so you know exactly what to do. Alright, so let's get into it. Now, your essay is divided into 4 points. So the first one is your introduction, the second one is your main body 1, the third one is your main body 2, and the final one is your conclusion. So let's look at what should you be populating in the introduction, main body 1, main body 2, and conclusion. Cool. So in your introduction, you're going to break it into 3 parts. In the first line, you're going to say the topic sentence in your own words. In the second one, you're going to choose your point of view or answer the topic sentence directly. Okay, it's very important to read the topic sentence carefully before you start with the essay and answer the topic question. If they've asked any particular question, answer that. And in the third one, you're going to talk about what you will be talking about in the rest of the essay. So let's look at that with the help of an example. Now I've given you a simple example here about television and whether it's good or bad. So I'll read the topic question. Nowadays television has become an essential part of life. It is seen as a medium to spread news and awareness, and for some it acts like a companion. Some people say it is good while others say it is bad for society. What is your opinion? So basically the essay is talking about television, good or bad. Okay, so now let's look at our introduction and see how I have answered this essay. So these days there's an ongoing debate within people about television and whether it should be viewed as a positive or negative impact to society. Okay, so topic sentence in your own words. So I've basically taken this point and kind of said it in my own words. The next point is choose your point of view or answer the topic question directly. So the topic question here is what is your opinion? So whether it's good or bad. So let's look to see how I've answered that. So while it is possible to claim that television provides a source of entertainment to people, my view is that the disadvantages outweigh the advantages. So I've clearly stated that I think it is disadvantages to society. And the next point, what will you be talking about in the rest of the essay? I'm saying in this essay I shall explain my point of view by analyzing both sides of the argument. So I'm telling them that what am I going to talk about in the next part. So the reason you want to have phrases like that is because it connects the following paragraphs to this paragraph, which is one of the things that they were looking for when I explained my scoring parameter. So that is your introduction, 3 points broken down in this way. So now let's get into the main body 1. So in the main body 1, in the first sentence, you introduce the argument or side 1 that you introduce the argument that you agree with, and then you get into supporting points. Okay, so in the first line you introduce the argument. So let's look at that. So there are several reasons why television is considered to be disadvantageous to society. So that was the view that I took in the introduction. So I'm just introducing that topic. There are several reasons why television is considered to be disadvantageous to society, and then I'm providing my supporting arguments to that point. So you can say things like, one of them is that it can also be argued that it should also be taken into account that. So it's basically like firstly, secondly, finally, and then an example. So that is your main body 1. Introduce the side that you agree with, and then provide supporting points to add on to that. So now I'm getting into the supporting points. So one of them is that viewing of television can be a source of distraction in our life, turning away our focus from the more important things in life. It can also be argued that we tend to waste hours in front of the television instead of working on our goals and ambitions in life. It should also be taken into account that children at a young age spending too much time in front of the television. For example, some people spend all of their free time in front of the television instead of working on productive activities. Now, yeah, so basically I've given points as to why television is disadvantaged to society. Now let's look at the main body 2. Okay, so in main body 1, introduce the side that you agree with in the first sentence, and then the remaining part is just supporting arguments. Now in main body 2, you briefly touch upon the opposite side. So you will introduce the side that you kind of disagree with. You will provide some supporting points, and then you give a point countering the opposite view. Now you don't want to spend too much time talking about this because it's the opposite side, but it's fine to talk about it a little bit. So let's see how I phrase that. So those who argue for television have a different view and say that it can actually be a good thing. Firstly, it is claimed that television can be a good source of information to learn new things if used correctly. Then there are concerns about people not viewing television to be unaware of current events and latest news around the world. Now, what I would also add here, which I haven't, is another point. So I would say something like point countering opposing view. So I would say, however, television is not the best. Television may not be the best way to stay updated with news. So I'm just saying why it's not good. I could add longer to that, but I'll just keep it short. However, television may not be the best way to stay updated with news. Okay, and this T should probably be small. So I would just look to see what is in the topic sentence. If the T is small, it's not capitalized, do not capitalize it over here. But in general, television is not capitalized, so I'll just keep it small. Cool. So just some quick edits over there. Okay, I've spotted one more thing. Okay, cool. So that is the main body too. You basically have, you're touching upon the opposing point of view, but however you're coming back to why one of those points may not be valid. So however, television may not be the best way to stay updated with news. Now moving on to the conclusion. So again, just to summarize what we've done so far, we've had our introduction where I've said the topic sentence in my own words. I have told them what is the side that I agree with. I'm introducing what I'm going to be talking about in the rest of the essay. Then in the first main body, I talk about introducing the side that I agree with, and I provide supporting points to that. And in the second main body, I touch upon the counterpoint of view, provide 1 or 2 points about that, and then I say why those points are not valid. Now in the final part of the essay, in the conclusion, what you do is you reiterate the side you agree on and you add a supporting point maybe onto that. Okay, so very important to do this step. So let's see how we did it. So while there are strong arguments on both sides of the case, my personal opinion is that television usage is best avoided or minimized, and we should focus on other productive tasks instead. I would strongly recommend that people view how much time they currently spend watching television and see how this time can be put to better use. So that is a conclusion where I've just reinstated that I think television usage should be avoided, and there's like another supporting point that I added to that. So that is the general structure of your essay, and I've given and I've shown this with the help of an example. Now, few things to note in case you struggle with grammar. You might want to use a longer sort of template, and I'll cover how to use that in the next video. However, note that if your written discourse scores or your vocabulary scores or your grammar scores on the lower side, or on the lower side, you want to use a template. If it's on the higher side, that means you're probably good and you don't need help with this. Okay, so that is the essay part. I'm also quickly going to cover the 3 types of essays that you get. So usually your essay will fit into these 3 types: your advantage and disadvantage essay, where you have to choose between 2 viewpoints. Other keywords can be boon or curse, positive, negative, good or bad. So the essay that we discussed was in this category. Then you can have a problem or solution type of essay, where you're asked to describe a problem or you need to provide a solution. For example, the environment we are living in is in danger due to various problems. Who do you think should be responsible, the governments or individual? And the next one is your agree and disagree type of essays. For example, successful sports stars are glamorous and glamorous film stars are a role model for youngsters. Do you support it or not? So agree or disagree. So those are 3 types of categories of essays you can get, but you can still kind of fit it into the previous model that we discussed. Alright, so I hope you guys are enjoying the course so far. I'm feeling refreshed. I just had a little bit of my finger lime, so I'm feeling really refreshed. It really tastes good. I'm starting to like it. Normally, I've gotten feedback that it goes really well with oysters, but me personally, I don't like oysters, so I'm just going to eat it like this. Yeah, tastes good.